Well, every test does have a silver lining. I love this phrase. It's actually part of a very famous English saying, every cloud has a silver lining, which just means, clouds usually represent that it's going to rain soon, and sometimes that wrecks your plans. Maybe you were going to have a picnic and darn it, that cloud's in the sky. It can wreck your day. Well, if a cloud has a silver lining, it just means inside that cloud that might rain on you, there's something good inside. What it means is when you're in a situation that seems really bad, there's usually something good about it too.
And we're using that same explanation to talk about tests. Every test has a silver lining. Well, here's the question we're asking today. Do you actually enjoy taking tests? Do you think it's fun?
No.
Most people would say no right away. But if you're kind of strange, and if you actually do enjoy taking tests, you're probably in the minority. Minority here just means a small number within a group. For example, we can talk about minority groups of people, like in the United States, black people are a minority. They are not as numerous as other races of people.
Yeah, a minority, of course, is just a small group of people within a larger group. If you're talking about a majority of people, it means you're talking about that group being bigger than this little group over here. So it's most of the people in a group. Minority just means just some of those people, and definitely not most of them. Well, most people don't enjoy tests, and if you're one of those people who enjoy tests, you're a little strange, but that's okay. You're pretty smart because tests are actually good for you. For most people, tests means that feeling of having butterflies in your stomach, which just means, no, you're not swallowing butterflies, but it feels like, oh, something's moving down there. It's not comfortable. And it's because you're nervous. We've got a lot of phrases we use for being nervous. Things like, I've got cold feet, which just means you're scared and you don't want to do something. You don't want to move, so it's hard to move on cold feet. Or you feel like a bundle of nerves. Ooh, everything's shaking inside. Or maybe you've tried to speak before in public and you feel like you have a frog in your throat, which means you can't make any sound, you're so scared. These are just some really famous phrases about being nervous. Well, to have butterflies in your stomach is our shortcut for you. Let's take another look.
Shortcut for you.
Hey, I heard you're auditioning for the play tomorrow.
Yeah, I've already got butterflies in my stomach.
Wow, you should probably see a doctor about that.
Oh, it's just an expression. If you have butterflies in your stomach, that means you're nervous or anxious about something.
Oh, that makes sense. 就是让人感到紧张、忐忑不安. Why do you have butterflies in your stomach?
Do you remember the last time I tried out for the school play?
Oh, you were so nervous, you forgot all your lines and ran off the stage.
Yeah, it was pretty embarrassing.
And everyone was laughing so hard, they nearly fell out of their seats.
Hey, you're supposed to make the butterflies in my stomach go away, not make them worse.
Okay, so again, most people probably don't like taking tests. They will feel very nervous before they take a test, and therefore they will have the feeling of butterflies in their stomach, okay? And also tests means studying for days on end.
Yeah.
If you say days on end, it just means day after day after day. You're studying for a long period of time.
Yeah, but believe it or not, like we've said, tests should be something you look forward to. Again, if you look forward to something, you get excited about something that's going to take place in the future. Well, researchers in the U.S. conducted a study, and they looked at two groups of students. Now, if you're a researcher, You look up information or you study a subject in detail in order to learn more. A lot of scientists, of course, are researchers, and professors at universities do a lot of research as well. To say they conducted a study means they carried it out. So they were leading that study.
They organized it and they finished this study. And they did this study with two groups of students, one group here and one group here. And each group had to read a passage. So they gave them something to read, maybe a couple of paragraphs or something. A passage is just a written part of something. Maybe they had to read a passage from Shakespeare or something like that.
Yeah, not the whole play, just a little part of it. A passage could be in a play, a book, or even a piece of music if your teacher wants you to play a certain passage in your score. You're just going to play a couple of lines in your music. Well, one group got to reread the passage 3 times. The other group didn't. They got to read it once and then had to take some tests. So they had different ways of testing these students. Again, one group reread or read again 3 times that particular passage. The other took 3 tests based on the passage that they got to read only 1 time.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. You can only read the passage once, but you still have to take a test on the passage 3 times. Well, the researchers then tested both groups together to find out how much each group remembered, or how much they remembered about the passage. To find out just means to get to know some information that you did not know before. So, for example, if you want some information about weather statistics in Taiwan, you might want to find out that information at the library.
Or on the internet, too. Well, they wanted to find out how much each group remembered. So that was part of what they were studying, these researchers, of course. Okay, listeners, we're going to go ahead and give some time over to our Chinese teacher, and then we'll be back.